Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. One of this season's most eagerly awaited new musicals is Woody Allen's Bullets Over Broadway. It is directed and choreographed by five-time Tony Award winner Susan Stroman, and it welcomes Zach Braff to Broadway. And I'm here at the Met Museum on opening night to celebrate with the company.
Never really had a chance to sit down and talk. Drink? Sure. I made it myself. If it tastes from lighter fluid, it's because it's lighter fluid.
We'll be glad when you're dead, you rascal you. We'll be glad when you're dead, you rascal you. When you're dead in your grave, no more women will be great. We'll be glad when you're dead, you rascal you.
I wanted to give you this. Ain't nobody's business if I do.
Don't speak, don't speak, be silent, please don't speak, be silent.
We're good, we're rolling. Congratulations.
Thank
It's
you.
opening night. How do you feel?
Fantastic. I mean, it's a long process through rehearsal and previews and changes, and the audiences have embraced this show so completely and just have the best time, and that's why you do it, for them to be happy.
Tell me what you love about this musical.
First of all, I love that it is funny. The music's sensational. Susan's choreography and her direction is thrilling. And it's an old-fashioned, fantastic, big, expensive Broadway musical. And you don't see them anymore, and not done this well. And I think it succeeds. And the audiences have a great time. I mean, you saw it, you had a great time. It's just delicious, I think, every minute of it.
Here we are at the Met. How do you feel tonight?
I feel wonderful. This is like, this grand palace and our grand show, and everybody's asking, what are you drinking now? I said, champagne. So everybody's very, very up tonight. The audience was amazing for an opening night. It was like a rock star audience tonight. Everybody was happy and up and feeding us.
The audience was like that at the matinee yesterday, from the second you started.
Yeah, we got some really funny material in this show. Woody Allen has done his best, and it's just a joy to speak his words and to also to dance the dances and sing the songs and do the stuff that Susan Stroman has given us to do. She's at the top of her game.
I talked to Susan about this. You love this time period as much as she does, don't you?
I do. I think there's really interesting characters and, of course, clothes. And people, we have eccentric people always, but there's something about the eccentric people of that time. They wear these funny things, and people wore hats and gloves and carried purses and had big furs, and so they can add to it by all the different accoutrements. And so it's a really cool period. And the music, of course, of that time they don't write songs like that anymore. So we're really lucky.
So it's opening night.
It is!
This is a big one. How do you feel?
I feel great. We had such a good show, and the audience was ecstatic and were with us all the way. And from the minute the lights dimmed, the screams and cheers that happened, and that just sent us all. We were ready, and we wanted to just go out there and have a great, just do it for the opening night for our family and our friends with just love and joy, and they gave it back to us. So I think it was just a love fest.
But audiences have been this way through the whole run. I was at the matinee yesterday, and the elders were screaming like a rock concert. concert.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because it's their time and the music that they love too. And then, but the story seems to just be reaching people they're having so much fun following these characters. And I think the brilliance, obviously, Woody Allen, based on this brilliant film. There's nine principal characters, and you follow every one of them, and everybody's story gets told, and that's extraordinary. And so the audience just loves that, and they get that. It's just a joy to play.
Let's talk about Cheech. Classic role, classic Woody Allen.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheech is, he comes from the streets and doesn't have a lot to live for. You know what I mean? He's kind of like a henchman for his boss Nick Valenti, and then, he kind of gets the artistic bug and he'll die for it. You know what I mean? So it's an amazing role. I love it.
So what was it like creating him with Woody Allen and Susan Stroman?
They were extraordinary. It's all on the page with Cheech. You know what I mean? I feel like the more that you get out of your own way with it and just be true to the character, they let me. They were instructional as far as be forceful and be tough and have that street edge. But I think on paper it's pretty self-explanatory. But the music as well, and the dancing, and Susan's choreography, and I think that really worked to flesh out the character in a way that maybe we haven't seen him before. So I've enjoyed it immensely.
What is it like stopping a show?
Well, there's a tingle that goes up your back, that's for sure. And I don't think I've ever felt that feeling of not wanting the applause to end, but it felt like it didn't ever end, and it was, it was a dream come true, absolutely.
When you took your bow tonight, what went through your mind?
That my family was in the audience, and that we all have gone through a tremendous journey in our lives together as a family, and I know that I made my daughter and my sister happy tonight, and that's what it's about. I mean, you get a nice paycheck, and you get recognition, and you meet celebs. They come to your dressing room, but I'm a family guy, and you gotta make the family happy, because when you go, if you weren't good to them, you got to make them happy. And I've always had this thing about, and because I was watching Frank Langella on TV last night, he was being interviewed, and he talks about getting old. When you get older and you look back on the mistakes you made in your life, you still have time to fix that.
Yeah.
And this is a process right now, and thank God that I met Susan. Susan Stroman is the best, that I'm able to fix a lot of things. So I'm doing what I want, I'm happy.
It is opening night, and this is a big one. How do you feel tonight?
I feel great. I'm tired, but thrilled to be a part of this great show, really, truly.
Talk about this role. How much fun is he to play?
It's fantastic. It's a gift of a part, because he's, it's really silly, but it's so brilliantly written by Woody Allen, of course, and Susan Stroman gave me such great numbers to work on, and it makes it so easy to just show up for work and just deliver it, and it works, I hope.
Oh, it works. I mentioned that to Mara, and I said it must be so much fun to play these over-the-top theatrical characters that you're told never to do, sort of, in the real world.
Exactly.
And now you get to play them.
Yeah, no, it's it's just a ball, to tell you the truth. We get to, as you said, just really go over the top in hopefully a really celebratory way to the theater and to New York at a certain period of time, and I'm loving being a part of it, really.
Okay. Talk about this role that you play and how much fun she is to play.
I've never had more fun doing anything in my entire life. I get to go up on stage every day and just say the dumbest crap and have people laugh at it. I can't believe how lucky I am. And when we were in previews, Woody would come into rehearsal with new jokes for me all the time. And to hear an audience enjoy that and to hear the response, it makes it so much fun. And to share the stage with the funniest people I've ever known.
Working with Woody Allen, what has that been like?
I think it is not lost on any of us that this is a living, walking, breathing legend. And to be working with him and to have had that experience is an incredible honor. He's also, anytime he came up with a new line, you're sort of like, I don't know, is that funny? And then you would do it that night and you're like, oh, it killed. Just the most random stuff. And his mind is like a labyrinth, and to have taken a walk inside of it was just an absolute insane joy.
This is a big opening night. How do you feel tonight?
I actually feel really relaxed. I've been through a couple of these before now, and I can honestly say that this whole process has been nothing but a dream from start to finish when we first started working on this in December of 2012. So it's just a celebration of this piece and all the work that we've all put into it, and the work that Stro and Woody have done.
Now, talk about the role. How much fun is she to play?
Oh my goodness. You know, it's great. I think I'm one of the few roles in the show that, you know, you kind of come out and you're like, no, what is she going to do? What's her story? Because everyone else kind of gets to come out and they're like, hi, this is what I do. And so it's actually been really enjoyable and fun to kind of, you know, just kind of grow and have that kind of an arc in the show too. Yeah, it's a joy to play, and the songs that they've chosen for me to sing are thrilling. I couldn't be more in love with them. So can't wait for the album. I think it's gonna be a fun one to listen to.
It's opening night. How do you feel tonight?
I feel fantastic. The audience was great. They laughed at every joke, and they applauded and they screamed, and I was so happy for the cast. They really delivered a great show, but the audience was thrilling. No, it made my heart very happy.
What has this whole experience been like for you, Susan? Take me back to the beginning.
Well, you know, interestingly enough, it's 2 years ago today that I met Woody Allen. April 10th, 2 years ago, where he said, I want to do Bullets Over Broadway as a musical. And of course I knew the story, and I thought it would make a great musical because it's a backstage musical, and it's more believable when those characters launch into song and dance. So I was on board from get-go. And you know, he's such a good musician and understands music, so we would sit around and choose these songs, and he wanted the score to be authentically from the 1920s, because he lives in that world. He lives his comedy and his stories and his music lives in a more authentic world rather than a fantastical world. So it was wonderful to collaborate with him in that idea of making it authentically 20s.
Because it was you, Woody, and Glenn Kelly that sort of went through all the music. I love the selections you chose.
Yes, Glenn Kelly was, well, you know, he's our musical supervisor, arranger, and also Glenn did additional lyrics. So the songs that we chose, Glenn would tweak the lyrics to help push the plot forward, so they seem very integrated into the story.
Okay, talk about this cast.
Oh my, the cast, you know, Zach Braff, he understands comedy so well and lands that comedy so well. And the story sort of revolves all around Zach and his character, and all these eccentric characters come in. Helen Sinclair by Mayor Mazur, the diva of all divas, and Cheech, the gangster. He's fantastic. You know, 6'5" and threatening, and a playwright in his own mind, and then Vincent Pastore, who's, you know, we know from The Sopranos, another authentic gangster, you know, and then we have Olive is played by Helena York, fantastic, and Brooks Ashmanska is so funny. But all these people really understand comedy, you know, and that makes Woody happy. You know, Woody sits back there and smiles, and I don't think people would recognize him.
It is opening night, your Broadway debut.
Yes.
How do you feel?
I mean, you can't top, just when we think they can't top it, they throw the after party at the Met in the Egyptian Room. I mean, everything in the show has been incredible. Woody Allen, Susan Stroman, you know, Marin Mazur, the top people in every category. As a fan of musical theater, I'm just blown away. I feel honored to be involved. If I was a production assistant, I would be happy to be involved in this. I can't believe I'm in it.
And you're the lead.
Yeah, and I'm the lead. Keep forgetting that part.
What has it been like working on this show? Because we spoke very early on in the process of that fabulous rehearsal day where we opened the rehearsal room. Yeah. What has it been like working on this show for you, Zach?
I just love musical comedy. I grew up loving musical comedy. I also grew up loving Woody Allen movies. So I just feel like I can't, you know, I'm actually having trouble finding the words. I feel like if I came to see the show, or if I got to sneak in the rehearsal room like you did, I would be loving this. This is so up my alley. I am the target demo. I think that's why I love it so much. It's just, I love comedy. I love musical comedy. I love silliness. It's just a big, fun night out at the theater, and I love that stuff. I like to go out and see some amazing voices you see some amazing dances, laugh my butt off, and I really believe the show delivers.
Talk about working with Susan Stroman.
I can't believe it. She's a living legend. She's right over there. She's great. She's great with people like me who, she knows how to raise everyone's game. I'm not a dancer by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm surrounded by the greatest dancers on Broadway. So she knows how to find out what I can do and weave that in. These tap dancers have been dancing since they're 4, and they're the best on the Great White Way. So she's genius at finding, how can we weave Zach into that? And I love it. I love her.
In working with Woody Allen.
Yeah, I'm so shy. I was so shy around him because I'm such a fan, and he's a shy person. So at first it was like 2 people on the opposite side of the dance floor, and little by little we both got over it, and there I am, like having jokes and analyzing the timing of a punchline with a living legend. It's wonderful.
Cast, magical cast. Talk about working with this cast.
I'm learning so much from this cast. Karen Ziemba, Maren Mazey, Betsy Wolfe, Helena York. These are some of the great talent on Broadway. Not to mention the ensemble and the dancers and everything. So I just feel like my game can only get raised. That's that hackneyed analogy of playing tennis with a great tennis player. I'm surrounded by these people. I'm learning so much from them. I can't sing like Betsy Wolfe or Maren Mazey, but what I can do is do my best around them, and they make me look a little bit better. And I'm learning a lot from them. They give me tips and teach me how to do 8 shows a week.
Audiences are loving this show. They have from the very first moment. What is that like for you as soon as you walk out there?
I can't believe it. Usually I've been to first previews of things where, you enjoy it and you go, they're going to do some tweaking, and I bet by opening night it'll be amazing. Our first preview, and granted, we had plenty of trimming to do too, like everybody, but our first preview, they went crazy, and they've just gotten more and more insane. So audiences have, they've had to tell us, like, yeah, don't get too cocky. Yes, the audiences like you, but we're going to be doing a lot of work, So it's been wonderful.
My final question for you is, when you took your bow tonight, Broadway debut, what went through your mind? Tell me what went through your mind.
I just got tears in my eyes. I looked out at the house, the standing ovation. I looked at, of course, at my parents, and then Susan Stroman said just some beautiful words. And I'm not much of a crier, but I felt them welling up. I wanted to do what those women do when they go like this. But it's very moving, very moving. I was a little boy who was 8 years old and dreamed he'd one day be on Broadway, and there I was getting a standing ovation at the St. James. It was a moment I'll remember for the rest of my life.
So